Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Masterwalk Calvary Coaches Show, presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet, Kinetic Credit Union, the Houston Clinic, and Coca-Cola. I am here with the head softball coach of the Calvary Christian Lady Knights, Coach Jeff Halstead. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right, Coach, before we talk about the season so far, just give us a little bit of a background on your coaching experience. How long have you been coaching softball, and how long have you been here at Calvary?
So I've been coaching. This is my 22nd year of coaching. Spent 14 years on the baseball side, and then now I'm in my 7th or 8th year on the softball side. I've been coaching here at Calvary. This will be my 4th year here at Calvary, 2 in the middle school program, and then now 2, this is my 2nd year with varsity.
Now, this is year 2 in the GIAA. You had a quick transition. You go from the Gaps to the GIAA last year. So you were playing softball in the spring and then turning around and having to play softball in the fall. What was that transition like? As the team was young, but they were able to just transition smoothly going from spring to fall?
Yeah, so, I mean, to be honest, it was a tough transition. We had there were several other schools that made the transition at the same time that we did,
right,
and didn't have the same success that we did last year. But we were able to make a pretty smooth transition. Obviously, it wasn't the result we wanted at the end of the year last year, but we were, I think we finished 13-10, made the playoffs. I think we finished 4th overall in Quad A and GIAA, so it was a good year.
Yeah, it was a successful year. You had a young team last year. We saw you at South Common Softball Complex, went 1-2 in the tournament. The team that you had last year, I mean, most of them are back this year. The player that really stood out last year was the player with the best batting average, Madison Davis, who was only an 8th grader. But you had, Brittany McKelvey, Kendall Gum. I mean, they're all coming back this year. And just talk about like the advantage of having such a young team last year, because really the sky is the limit, especially when you have a young team like that, and knowing that you're going to have them for at least 2-3 more years, some even 4 more years.
Yeah, so I'll actually back up a little bit. Most of these young ladies came in the 5th and 6th grade.
Oh,
and so
wow.
I've had them for several years, both in middle school and then now at the varsity level. So they've played together for a while. They've been able to gel together. There's a lot of talent in that group, and so the advantage is obviously just that we get the opportunity to coach them up and see them from beginning to end, from the time they start middle school until the time that they graduate. And so they will have been playing together at that time for 6-7 years for some of them, and so that's going to be a big advantage to us moving forward. Coach,
I want to talk about that hitting facility. How cool is it? Like, what are some of the features with that hitting facility, and how is the team enjoying the hitting facility? Because it's been a long time coming. We've been seeing that thing get built, and now that it's finally here, and we saw the videos, and the place looks awesome. Just talk about some of the features of the hitting facility and how it's really helped the team this year.
Yeah, so it's designed with 4 lanes, but all the lanes can be opened up into one big shell, so we can take infield in there. We can actually do live hitting in there if we want to. So there's a lot of cool things about it. It's got 4 tee stations, and so you can really get a lot of swings in. I do have to give credit to my predecessor, Coach Lloyd, who had a good relationship with the donor at that time, who actually is the person who gave the funding for that facility. And so what a blessing it has been for us to be able to have that somewhere that we can go every day. Weather doesn't become an issue as much anymore because we can go in there and hit. So it's been a tremendous asset to our program, and it's been very helpful for our girls to have that.
Yeah, it's great to see like the facilities here at Calvary Christian just continuing to improve as the team gets ready for year 2 of the GIAA. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the upcoming season, as Calvary Christian right now 4-0, and they've got some key games coming up as you're watching the Masterwalk Calvary Coaches Show, presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet, Coca-Cola, Kinetic Credit Union, and the Houston Clinic. We'll be right back after this.
It's a great day for a new Chevrolet from Glenn Smith and Opelika. Hit the road in a rugged new full-size Chevy Silverado with discounts up to $12,250 off MSRP. New Chevy Traverse, the spacious and comfortable ride with affordable pricing. Now with discounts up to $4,000 off MSRP. People from all over the USA are coming to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
I'm always on the go. But with the Kinetic Credit Union app, Kinetic is always with me. The Kinetic mobile app is virtual banking at its best. With the Kinetic mobile app, I can easily send and receive money, make a deposit, pay some bills, and I can even open up a new account, all from my phone. And I can monitor all my accounts in one place, all on the go. The Kinetic mobile app, energized banking at its best.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
And welcome back to the Masterwall Calvary Coaches Show, presented by Kinetic Credit Union, Coca-Cola, the Houston Clinic, and our OG sponsor, Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. I'm here with the softball coach, Coach Jeff Halstead. So far, 4-0 on the season. We've had several games on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, including the game against Columbus, where you ruled them, and then last night took on Pacelli. Great performance by Kendall Gum. Just talk about, 17 strikeouts. Just talk about the season so far, and what are some of the players that have stood out as you have a 4-0 record and you're getting ready to take on some tough opponents?
Yeah, so Kendall, obviously, last night was special. She's been really good so far this year. Last night, I think, like you said, 17 strikeouts. More importantly, no walks. And so it was just one of those performances that you just don't see a lot.
Yeah.
Pacelli obviously has a much improved team. They came in, I think, hungry, 2-1. I think they put up a really good fight, but Kendall was really special last night. As far as the season goes, Kentley Spates has had a really good year so far this year. Obviously, Maddie Davis has had a good year so far this year. We've had a lot of girls contribute in a lot of ways. It would be hard to kind of narrow down one or two, but specifically, our biggest thing so far has been our pitching and defense has been really solid. We've given up 2 runs through 4 games. And so only having given up 2 runs through 4 games, I told the girls last night, anytime you can do that, you're going to be in every single game, because hitting is one of those things that it comes and goes. You know, as everybody knows that's been around the game for a while, hitting comes and goes. Defense and pitching is something that can be a little more consistent, and that has been that for us so far. So it's been really nice just to have that luxury of having Kendall Gum, Mackenzie Jones. Those 2 have kind of carried the load for us so far on the mound, and they've been really, really good so far.
Yeah, they really have. Talk about this tournament that you are facing this Saturday. You're going to play several teams, including Southland Academy, which we saw against Brookstone yesterday on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and Southwest Georgia Academy out of Damascus. Is this where's this tournament being held, and then what time are the games going to start Saturday morning? Yeah,
so we'll play Southland at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then we'll play SGA at 12 o'clock. As you know, we played SGA already this year. Had a really close game with them. They've got some really good players, really well coached. And they are also they've got some really good arms too. So that's always going to be a good game when we play those guys. I don't know much about Southland yet, other than I know they're solid. They've always had a good program. So it'll be a good challenge for us this weekend. It'll be one of those weekends where everybody's got to contribute. And so we'll play those 2 games at 10 and 12 and hopefully come out of there with 2 victories. So.
All right. Coach, talk about the region. Obviously, there's been improvements with Pacelli. They had a JV team last year. They only played 6 games, but they are improving. They've picked up some wins this year. Brookstone went 5-13 last year, but they've seemed like they have improved. They beat Shaw already. But you also have Strong Rock, who lost to them in the playoffs, but then Westfield School, who won the 3A championship. Just talk about this region, and what are you looking forward to about just competing in this region? I mean, you do have one team that's a 3A school, but everybody else is 4A, and they're trying to get to South Commons.
Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, I don't know how we don't have one of the tougher regions in GIA. Yeah. And I think that's pretty consistent with all the sports, that this particular region is really, really strong. All 5 of those schools have very strong athletic programs. And specifically to softball, Westfield has been a powerhouse for a long time. Strong Rock has been a powerhouse, at least for the last couple of years. I don't know a ton about their program other than just the last few years. And then obviously Brookstone and Pacelli always have solid programs as well. So I think at the end of the day, it's a really strong region. I feel like this year we will be competitive, at least with every team in the region, and potentially have a shot to be there at the end to win the region.
And Coach, finally, I want to talk about softball in this area. Obviously, there's strong softball teams in little leagues. It's the home of USA Softball. I mean, we've seen females that actually play baseball, that play at a very high level, transition to softball. I mean, it starts at a young age. You talked about the team you've had since 5th grade, 6th grade. What is the state of softball in this area? Obviously, with the success of Northside and Harris County, and how does Calvary stack up with the best teams here in the Tri-City area? Yeah,
so the goal a few years ago was to build a program here at Calvary that would be able to compete at the highest level and compete with whatever team, regardless of classification. That was our goal, and I think we've been able to achieve that. I would put our team this year up against any team in the area. And I'm not saying we would win every game, but I'm saying I know that we can compete with any team out there. I just feel very strongly about that, especially with the pieces that we've added and those kind of things. But in general, the softball in this area it's good softball. I mean, I would say that short of the Atlanta area being a little bit stronger just in general as far as depth, I don't see another area in Columbus in the state of Georgia that has the amount of talent that Columbus has. So it's a strong area. There's a lot of really good softball schools, and so you have to work really hard at it in order to stay on top and be competitive.
And I know traditionally people think that softball is a spring sport, and Alabama plays it in the spring, but softball in the state of Georgia is offered in the fall, and it's got just a unique feel to it. But my final message to you, Coach, is just what is your message to the Calvary faithful, the Calvary alumni that they want to support the softball team? I know that it seems like the fall sports, if it's not football, they tend to get forgotten sometimes. But I mean, it's because everybody focuses on football. But just talk about like coming out to a Calvary softball game. What experience are they going to get? I know it's in the upper 90s. It'll cool down a little bit in a couple of months, and then it'll be just the right temperature, right atmosphere, and I know that fans will be excited about the product you're putting out on the field.
Yeah, I think anytime you're putting a quality product on the field, you're obviously going to have more fans are going to show up. The support from the crowd this year and the amount of people that have shown up to our games so far has been actually really overwhelming, to be honest with you. We've had a lot of administrators, people within the community, people outside of the community that have come to watch our team play. And I think that really falls on, and I tell the girls this all the time, you got to be fun to watch. At the end of the day, like I tell our girls, if your energy's not good and you're not putting a good product on the field, then fans don't want to see that. They don't want to come watch that. But if you have good energy and you're a team that people consider to be fun to watch and you're quality, then people will show up. And we just let that take care of itself. And the other thing we've tried to do is just try to make the facilities nicer for the fans. As you noticed, we had some donors that stepped forward this year and helped us install some of those tarps that go over the stands, which makes it a more comfortable experience. We've had some fans installed in some different places just to make it cooler and nicer for the fans to be there. So making it an enjoyable fan experience is a little bit to do with the facilities themselves, but a lot to do with what's going on that field and whether people want to show up and watch your team play.
Well, good luck, Coach, the rest of the season, and we are excited about live streaming more Calvary softball games, and we can't wait just to see how the season plays out.
No, thank you guys for doing what you do. Really appreciate it.
Well, that means a lot, Coach. We appreciate you guys as well. That is the softball coach of Calvary Christian School, Coach Jeff Halstead. Thank you for watching the Master Walk Calvary Coaches Show. Until next time, we'll be right here with another coach, and hope everybody has a great rest of your night, and we will see you next time.